Okay, so we have the patch notes. Look at that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just read the patch notes and yeah, chill. It's gonna take the time it does. I might skip back and forth. This is how I read my patch notes. I'll read some of them out loud and yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's go. So, content update 0.2020. Let's see here. Content update, blah, blah, this one. Here they explain the fresh economy reset for the new players. And if you're a new player, how it works is there's usually a new league every 3 months. And that's like where you play the new things they added to the game, and you start from the beginning with nothing. Highly recommend that. One thing that some people like to do, well, I am one of them. I like to do it. It is playing a new build. So every 3 months, you have a chance to start from the beginning and build up a new character from start. It's really fun because you don't have like you don't have anything, so you start from the beginning again and start fresh and start to build up again. It is fun. I highly recommend also doing it SSF. You learn a lot more about the game. If you do that, you can't buy shit, so you need to learn how to find stuff yourself. And in this league, it seems like there's a lot. There's many more ways to get your items to the level where it is decent. Because of Recombinator, more omens, more essences, and stuff like that. I think just those three things that I said will make it a lot easier to get items. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to be decent. Here we have new content and feature. Added Huntress, Amazon Ritualist, Smith of Gitava, Tactician, Lich. Added over 25 new skills, primarily spear skills. Added 100 new supports. This is gonna be so interesting over the next year. How many supports will there be in the game? Will this be the thing that scares people away again? Because there's like 500 supports in the game, and you're afraid of taking the wrong ones. Maybe there's enough good ones, so it's hard. Well, there's always the best one, but maybe the second best one is good enough, so you can take the wrong one with bunny ears, like the wrong one. Okay, added new item class spears and bucklers. That's cool. Added 100 new uniques, 4 new endgame maps, and new rewards with new encounters and new rewards. Okay. 4 unique strongboxes. Yeah. Introduced 12 rogue exiles. Yeah, they can use skills as players. You know about that already. I look forward to this a lot. This is gonna be super fun. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I'll do that. Okay. Asmarian Wisps. This is like the league thing. Oh shit, there. This is like the league thing. Yeah. It's a wisp. You touch it, it flies away. If it touches the mob will be buffed in different ways. More life, more damage, more crit. stuff like that. And you get more rewards if you kill them when they are buffed. If they get buffed, you can't kill them until they have. If they get touched by the wisp, you can't kill them until they've been like fully upgraded. So you can't accidentally kill them before they are upgraded if they are touched. And if 15 new socketable items with new modifiers that can craft onto your items. Oh, so this is like runes and stuff. Okay. Introduced Twilight Reliquary Key consumed at the Reliquary Vault. A new area on the endgame map. It grants access to vault with a chest drop, a special foiled version unique. See, okay, this is like, yeah, you can get foiled unique. So if you find this key, you can sell it, or you can use it yourself to get a random unique item. There is 453 outcomes, and if it's a headhunter or something really good in there, the chance of it dropping is a lot less. It's the rarity affects how high chance it is to get from the chest. We can now Vol Orb essences, and you can get a corrupted essence. You can upgrade. You can probably upgrade the essence. Maybe you can add an essence. I don't remember if it's like in PO1 now. When I think a bit back to it, I've only seen like the release video once. And yeah, you can turn it into a new type of essence that is like unique, very special. You can probably upgrade it. You can add one. Yeah, probably. Oh, continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, effect, and environment. Okay. Endgame Changes. Areas of corruption on the altar now have central corrupted nexus. That is the source of the affliction in the areas leading to the nexus. Corruption will spill out from slain enemies and amalgamate into powerful monsters. Okay? And then when we reach the nexus and kill and like complete that map, we cleanse the corruption. And complete this task and receive crystalline shards that can be used to obtain Atlas passive skill points. Okay? Yeah. That is how we progress through the Atlas now, it seems. By completing these corruption. What are they called? Corrupted nexus. Like a nexus, yeah, okay. A boss for each faction has been added. These appear in the corrupted nexus. Additional corruption monsters faction have also been introduced. Corruption monsters have had their visuals, animations improved, skills been rebalanced. Corruption areas no longer implicitly have +1 area level, but now are much more likely to have modifiers. And the modifiers can be more powerful. Some new corruption modifiers have also been added. Yes, okay, the +1 is gone, but they can have like, I don't know, more XP or something. Maybe drawbacks as well. Okay, cleansing a nexus will cause surrounding maps to become cleansed maps, which have their own set of monsters and rewards, including the newly introduced Fracturing Orb. Very nice. The Fracturing Orb fractures a random modifier on a rare item with at least 4 modifiers, locking it in place. Yeah, this is good. If you find... It depends... Yeah, if the Fracture Orbs aren't that rare, I'm gonna farm them. I think I'm gonna go SSF this league. It feels like I want to try that at least. Start SSF. I want to farm these and see if they're like decently common, and then you just try and find high fizz rolls on spears, and then you slam these on them, and if you hit, you spam them with chaos orbs until you get the, I don't know, if it is a high flat roll, you try and spam on a percentage, but it's the percentage you usually wanna uh, uh, fracture. So that's much rarer, especially if it's like a tier 1, but now it's obviously it's like tier 10 or tier 11. I don't know how high the percentage fizz goes. And then you want to like Chaos Orb until you get a flat. Okay. Where were we? There. In order to open a corrupted Nexus map, the waystone placed in the map device will need to have at least 4 modifiers. Okay, interesting. You can now respawn at return to map if you die. Upon first entering the endgame, you get up to 6 total attempts per map. As you add more modifiers to a waystone, the number of respawns goes down. Okay, this is interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how this works out. If it's like worth doing maps, blue maps in endgame, and if you can like upkeep if you want to be safe. Of course, you nerf your drops, but I'm not a user, so not dying is something I prefer. In parties, everyone gets to respawn that number of times. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've seen that. You have an like a number on the where your name is if you're in a party, and you can see how many respawns you have left. You will be able to enter and exit your map as much as you like, as long as you haven't died. The number of portals is representative of the number of revives you have during the map. Wait, the number of portals is representative of the numbers of revives. Okay, I don't get this, but okay. Here it seems like we can enter and exit as many times as we want if we don't die, but then here I'm interpreting this as I can enter and exit as many revives as I have, but I might be stupid. Once you start a boss fight, the respawn system will change to require the map owner to collectively respawn the entire party. This is so that you must still kill the boss from full life. Okay. Just a safety so you can't corpse run. If you decide to rush the map also while interacting with any of the other map content and then die, you will respawn at the boss checkpoint and only the map boss will be present. All of the other monsters and content will be removed. This is to prevent cases where the player would be able to farm multiple copies of the same rewards by dying on purpose. Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. The number of towers on the Atlas has been reduced drastically, but each one is more powerful. We know that. Tablet. Okay. They add twice as many mechanics to towers. Using higher tier waystones in towers also increase the number of mechanics applied by tablets. By tier 15, the bonus is double, although a single tablet should now add up 4 times as many things as before. Tower maps can now spawn with all extra content. Okay, so it's just a regular map now. That is huge as well. I'm gonna put bosses on all my maps. I love bosses. The number of maps affected by tablets have been doubled on average, and also now scales based on map tier. Okay, so if we kill, it's interesting they call it maps and then waystones. It's probably confusing for a new player. So if we put a higher waystone in tier and clear the tower, get more effect from the tablets we put into the tower. That's how I understand this. Killing rare monsters required for map completion no longer has a chance to grant monster modifier to... What? Okay, I don't know what that is. Something. Increase the chance for rare monsters to have 3 to 4 modifiers in the map. Yeah, this is most to compensate for the removal of rare monsters. They're modified to other rare monsters on death. I don't know what this... Why... Was this a thing? I don't remember. I might be stupid, but yeah, I don't remember this being a thing. Okay. The checkpoint now spawns when the last available optional content in a map has been completed. Okay. Extra content such as Breach, Delirium, Expedition, Ritual now start spawning further away from the cigarette refuge. So we need to go further away from where we start to get to see them more. How waystones are obtained in maps has been redesigned. Our intention is to make both the same waystone drop much more reliable and less dependent on random elements. Waystones no longer drop as a lower tier than the map you are in. Okay, so we can't go down in tier. I remember him talking about that. Waystones drop from the final boss will now always be one tier higher than the map you are in. Okay, so this is going to be very nice for me because I love doing bosses. And remember, maybe they talk about this later, but when you kill the the last rare in a map, it always drops a waystone. And because the waystone can be lower than the map you're in, you always sustain if you kill all the rares in the map. So you go and kill the map boss, you complete the map, you don't need to kill all the rares inside the maps where the boss is. So you kill the boss, you get the +1 waystone, but then you have the rares left. So if you kill the rares as well, you'll get a sustain map as well. So you get 2 waystones maps slash maps from every map with a boss in it if you complete it and also kill all the rares. Final map bosses and the final naturally occurring ground. Okay, here rare monster in tier 1 have 100% tier 1 maps have 100% chance to drop a waystone. This chance scales down as you get into higher. But wait, what? This was not how they explained it. Okay, ignore everything I said before, but still will guaranteed. What? The appropriate investment into waystone suffix and modifiers and through the Atlas Best tree with natural waystone drops have been reduced to compensate. Okay, so you always try and in the end game you always try and kill bosses because you always get a waystone then from the boss. Okay, yeah, I can get behind that. That's very nice. Remove chance for waystone to drop a tier higher from Atlas passive tree and lower the amount of waystone quantity available on the Atlas passive tree. Okay, doesn't matter because kill bosses. Sources of map boss have a chance to drop waystone of the current tier or higher have been replaced by increased quantity of waystone dropped by map bosses. That's good. So you can get more than one, so it's easy to sustain. Duriani now has up to 10 ways. Wait, Duriani now has up to 10 waystones available to purchase either at tier 1 or 1 tier below your highest completed tier. Well, that's good. That's good. So it's easier to sustain through, you can buy them. Or zero tablets now cost up to 2 to 4 maps in range to contain bosses. Previously 3 to 7. Wait, is they nerfed the tablet that gives bosses? That's bullshit. Why? That sucks. Okay. The waystone change granted by waystone suffix modifiers has been reduced and as a result of the new changes to drop waystones. Okay. Okay, so if you play an unidentified waystone, you get a higher chance of getting waystones, not quantity. Okay, so when you complete an unique map, you get 2 Atlas passive points. And there's 5 different ones. So if you complete those 5, you get a total of 10. It's just the first time you complete it. The specialities of some maps have been adjusted to account for the additional Asmarian spirits. Okay. Add a new modifier relating to Asmarian spirits for the Overseer's tablet. Add a new modifier relating to Asmarian spirit Rogue Exile. And Rogue Exiles for tablets. And Untainted Paradise gives even more XP now. That's one of the unique maps. Recombination. You slam 2 rare items together. So you put 2 items in their recombination table. It's probably a table. And then you pick the mods you want to keep when you slam them together. The more things you pick, if you pick like, I want these 6 mods, it's probably like less than 0.5% chance that you get the item. And if you don't, if you succeed, you get the item, and if you fail, you lose both items. But if you pick only 2, it's probably like they said something around like 35% chance success. That's pretty decent, because you can just pick up, let's say, yeah, as I said before, with fractures, you can fracture a high fizz, so you can get a high percentage fizz and a high flat fizz on 2 spears. Put them in. I'm guessing they need to be at least the same base, maybe even the same type of weapon, exactly the same, like the same spear base. I don't remember. I don't know how it is. So you take one with high flat, and then the other one with high percentage. Pick one of each, slime them together. If you succeed, GG, nice weapon. So it's worth like picking up all the fucking items now. That's nice, especially in the stuff. I like that. And also you get the currency to do this from doing expedition. And expedition is one of my favorite things to do. So yeah, it's even more of a favorite now, because you can use it for the expedition, for the recombination. Okay, higher chance of finding omens on tablets. Higher, just increase that. And the chance of maps overseer tablets that have the high chance of waystone dropping from bosses has been lowered from 10 to 20 to 5 to 8. Tablet suffixes that granted additional base chance for random extra content now instead grants increased chance. Increased chance. Wait. Oh, it's not additional. It is increased. Okay. So it's not multiplied. It's probably additive with other increases. And maybe before it was... It's additive. Before it was multiplicative, probably. Okay, they've lowered the top end of rarity increase on maps from the tablets. Quantity has also been lowered at the top end by 1%. Same there for the tablet. Top end has been lowered for pack size as well. Gold has been increased. Low end, top end from 5 to 10 to 10 to 15 for gold. This is all tablet modifiers. Breach. lowered density, and also open faster has been lowered as well. How fast a breach open has been lowered. The tablet modifier for rare monsters have an additional modifier can no longer roll. That's good, because that was like, yeah, I ran that on like everything. Okay, the same goes for Simulacrum. You can't get additional rare modifiers. This increases the rarity and was it quantity and everything from the monster. So, and yeah, the more mods they have, the more things they dropped. So they also got harder, but sometimes it got a bit ridiculous with the drops and also how many mods they had. So I'm for this. I love that. The various endgame quests that led to the Arbiter of Ash encounter have been consolidated into a single quest. Okay. Yeah, we had like 3 or 4 quests. Yeah, I remember that. That's better. Okay, so all the unique bosses, like endgame bosses, they can drop all the uniques on all difficulties. But on the lower difficulties, the chance of them dropping is lower. Like the really good unique items have a much lower chance of dropping if you're playing it on tier 0. And also a lower chance of getting reliquary keys from the bosses. They have nerfed pinnacle bosses on tier 0. But on tier 4, they're the same difficulty as before. So the curve is steeper, but easier in the beginning. They've just lowered the floor, not raised the roof. And it's a lot quicker to unlock the content for the pinnacle bosses. The Arbiter of Ash and those, from what I understand. We don't lose XP from dying in Simulacrum. Twisted Domain, Olroth Arena, inside the logbook. On any pinnacle boss, endgame boss. And you also do not gain any XP from killing them. So that's good. You can try these pinnacle bosses whenever you want and you don't have to be afraid of losing your XP that you worked so hard for. I love this because this is usually why I don't do it at all. Like I don't want to lose my progress, you know. Okay. that has happened to me. Yeah. Interesting. Don't care about that. They have reduced the power notables on league-specific Atlas passive tree nodes for the logbook splinters, simulacrum splinters, an audience with the king. Delirium encounters in maps now reward 1 simulacrum splinter each time a reward type is filled. That's interesting. Okay. I didn't run too much Delirium. Simulacrum splinters can now be obtained through Delirium encounters in all map tiers, with the amount scaling up per map tier. Okay. So we can, yeah, you can still get splinters, and yeah, that's good. The base number of monsters spawned in delirium encounters have been reduced, and the number that emerge by touching fracturing mirrors have been greatly increased. I like that. That's how it should. That's how it should feel. That's when I play. That's what I was expecting. Like I touched this thing that like is a huge thing. It even pushes me away, and nothing happens. So that's good. I like that. Reduce the intensity of, yeah, so we can see. This I think they should add something so we can decide that ourselves a little bit. So when they have found their minimum, they can, like, people can play with that, or you can pull it up a little bit to make it more, I don't know, look better. Because I kind of like it when it's a lot of fog. Like, it's kind of cool. It feels cooler. Yeah. I don't always play for efficiency. The number of monsters spawned from breaches has been reduced. I think that it's pretty okay now. I think they should reduce it if you're doing it in white and yellow maps, but give them the chance to drop splinters still. Uh, but because there's less of them and the quantity and everything is lower, you don't get as much, and then you ramp up the drop rate and the amount of monsters in red tier. I think that should, or at least keep the density in red tiers that where it is now, and maybe increase the drop rate a little bit. Yeah, a higher percentage of total number of breach monsters spawned are now spawned earlier in the encounter. Okay, so they haven't spread them out as much. It's more dense. It's maybe feels the same in the beginning, and then it like tapers off hard. Reduce the number of small breach chests found. Okay, breach splinters can now be obtained from all breaches in all tiers, with amounts scaling up map. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Breach and delirium encounters are now considered complete when you open the clasp hand or delirium mirror. Okay. Strongboxes now spawn slightly more packs of monster in maps. Okay, that's good. They need to buff strongboxes. Omens now always appear as reward in map areas. That's good. That is amazing, dude. So ritual, GG. And this is why I feel like all of these changes makes it so that I want to play SSF, because it feels like it's gonna be a lot more accessible to do everything in SSF. Because I'm not like Al Kaiser or the Ciceran or any of these like Giga Chads. I'm just a regular gamer that plays PoE too much. The vendor in the cigarette refuge and those in your hideout know correctly have level better than 1. Okay, that's okay. Don't care. If you exit the game while in an endgame map area, logging back into the same character will now place you back inside the map instance if it still exists. Okay. This is the thing I'm looking forward to the most. I want to see the new passive tree. I hope they release that with this, so we can check that out after I've gone through all these, all this. I've gone through like a fifth all the patch notes. Oh, Atlas. Well, okay. This was the Atlas passive tree. I also the this is cool, and the character, the regular passive tree is what I'm looking forward to. They've added Asmarian Spirit passive notes. added more notables, and reworked some of the existing ones, so it's more interesting what we pick. Okay, they have the Deadly Evolution Atlas keystone has been replaced by a new keystone called Ecological Shift, which causes your maps to have 40% more chance to contain random extra content. That is good. I like that. And 20% less number of monster packs in. Okay, that's not good. I wonder if that's worth it. It depends on what you want to do, I guess. I mean, if you want to find rituals and stuff like that, this is better. And like essences. Yeah, this might be better. Expedition. This might be better in the beginning. When you need like things. Okay. We can have 4 Atlas passive skill points. We could have 30 before, now 40. The Crumbling Walls Atlas Notable passive now has 10% chance for additional breach, previously 15. 3% chance for 3 additional breaches, previously 5. 1% chance for 10 additional breaches, previously 2. That's pretty big nerf, but okay. I mean, bring this up. This should be 15, maybe even 20, maybe even 30. And then these can be, this can be 2, and this can be a 0.5%. But like the extra breach should be pay off. The Extreme Archaeology Notable Atlas passive no longer causes monsters to spawn with 20% of the life missing. The Frantic Invasion Atlas Notable passive now has 50% increased quantity of breach sprinters dropped by breach monsters in your maps, previously 75. Sure. The Grasping Hands Atlas Notable passive now have 30% more clasped hands, previously 50, and clasped hands in your map have 20% chance to be guarded by a pack of magic monsters, previously 25. So they're nerfing a lot of the breach ones. The Interdimensional Assault Notable passive now has breaches in your map have 10% increased monster density, previously 15. The Ominous but Portent. Wait. The Ominous Portents Atlas Notable passive now causes ritual favor in your maps to have 100% increased chance to be omens, previously 50. Okay. So you have a high chance of finding omens. Okay. The Rising Pyre Atlas Notable passive now has breaches in your map have 20% increased monster density, previously 40. Okay, so they've really nerfed density in breach. Well, it is what it is. General improvements. Let me just go over these. NVIDIA. The reforging bench is repositioned. We can find strong boxes in Act 1. We have a stash in Treasure Room in the Trials of Chaos. Fire skill burns grass. Improved performance of summoning and reviving minions. Okay, I haven't done too many minions build. Further improved safety checks. Preventing using moment skills to skip the elevator. Okay, so it's kind of nerfs. They can jump over things when using certain skills. Better visuals for DK debuff. Decay debuff from decaying hex support. Grenade skills now have a small amount of random variation in travel distance when firing multiple grenades at once. Okay, well, Fireball now uses the same animation as freezing shards instead of generic projectile spell animations. Okay. Updated 3, the Art of Stash and Guild Stash. Player changes. Okay, so we need to be at least 25 to enter Cruel difficulty, 50 to enter Endgame. I don't know what I think about that. That feels sad for speedrunners, but I guess you need to... It's another rule to take into account when you speedrun. If you're doing like 2 maps and not too Cruel. Maybe that's a low level. I don't remember the level where we are at level wise when we're leveling through normally. The player's base attack speed while unarmed is now 1.4. Previously 1.2. Killing Palm, Shattering Palm, Staggering Palm, and Hand of Chola now have 25% less attack speed to compensate for this change. Previously 10. Okay. We hit faster unarmed. You build up freeze slower, about 50% slower. Okay, so our ailment threshold is now half our maximum health. Previously it was our maximum health, maximum life. This is how the chance of you getting frozen or ignited or what else? Some of those things. Stunned. No, that was ailment threshold. Okay, so this is frozen, shocked, ignited. You have a... yeah. The chance of you getting frozen, ignited, or shocked is now doubled. Yeah, and if you didn't know, it's based on your life. So if you have more life, you have a lower chance of getting... as a base, you have a lower chance of that happening to you. So now it could be worth taking like a 2-pointer if you travel on the passive tree through a place where you can take like a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer, which raise your ailment threshold. That could maybe be a good idea. It depends. It always depends on your situation. Presence base radius is now 4 meters, previously 6. Okay. Okay. I need to remember that. I'm gonna write that. That's one of those I will forget, so I'm gonna write that down in my text document here. There we go. Monster modifiers stolen from rare monsters such as Behead support have had their effect they provide to players adjusted. Okay, so all the mods that are on monsters, when we get them, they're adjusted to make them not broken. So some of them are buffed and some of them are nerfed to make them more appropriate for us as players. Maybe like I can't come up with anything. Whatever. The cruel version of Candlemass Essence now provide 5% increased life. Previously 8. That's just... why? We have no percent life anywhere. They nerf that. That's so unnecessary. That's so unnecessary. And also that's something everyone gets, so I mean, just let everyone have that. So that's so stupid. This is super unnecessary. This just feels This feels petty. It just feels like, yeah, fuck life builds. The Warm Silence trials. It's just some trial of Sekima things. Okay. This is interesting. If we block or parry, now if we have evasion, we have a chance to avoid building up the stun. So it takes longer for us to get stun if we actively block. Or parry. Okay, so now when we block too much, we get, yeah, the animation, and we get heavy stun. For previously we got staggered, but they use the same terminology now as when we stun monsters, it seems like. And also the animation from when we get stunned is longer. And that's one of the only ways we can get heavy stunned, unless it's worded somewhere. So when you build up your stagger bar from blocking, it's like the bar that's over here somewhere. And then when that reaches max, you get heavy stunned. And there's animation where you like fall back and shit. Player can no longer be light stunned while their shield is raised. Yeah. So we only get heavy stun. Modifiers to curse effect have been changed to instead apply to curse magnitude. This means they are multiplicative with any other modifiers to the effect or debuff on the target. For example, curse magnitude and slow magnitude are... Oh shit, okay. Wow. Curse magnitude and slow magnitude are now multiplicative with each other for temporal chains. So that means that curse magnitude is, yeah, that it's a multiplicative. It's a multiplier. So if you're new and don't know what that means, it means that you multiply instead of add together with. So if you have like 10% increased slow from temp chains, and then you have a 10% curse magnitude, those would multiply with each other. But if before it was increased, both of them, they just got added together. So let's say you have, I don't know, it slows 10. Before you would get 12 because 20% increase. Now you multiply the 10 with 1.1 and then take that result and multiply it by 1.1, which is a bit higher. When we talk at these low numbers, it's not too much, but in the end, when you have much more, so the first like 10 multiplied by 1.1 is 11, and then you multiply that by 1.1 again, then you get up to 12.1. So you get 0.1 more than before. When we talk these low numbers, you don't see, it doesn't make too much a difference. But if you get the numbers high enough, and if you get one more multiplier somehow, so you multiply that again, the result again with that, you go, yeah, that's how damage is calculated. If it says more, it's multiplied. If it's increased, all the increases gets like added together. You add them together before you multiply it with the thing. Some people call it buckets. Okay. Players have 50% more light stun threshold per time stun in past 4 seconds. Previously, 25% more. 6 seconds. Okay. Your stun bar is not emptied until the animation ends. Okay, so that's good, I guess. So if you get heavy stunned, you need to wait until the animation ends until you recover the stun bar down here. And the heavy stun duration is 3 seconds. Before it was 1 second. Yeah, before you on a boss, like in 1 second, most of the bosses can't do anything to you if you block them. In 3 seconds, some bosses, most of them have something that can kill you in that time if you're unlucky. And you cannot block or evade hits when you're heavy stunned. Could do a weakness stack now. Okay, that's good. Critical weakness stacks now track duration individually, rather than refreshing the duration of all stacks when a new stack is gained. This is good, because this was broken. Yeah. It was super easy to get to crit cap. Because of this. But now, you don't refresh it. You need to keep reapplying it. Pinned targets can no longer evade. Pinning a target now also causes them to be light stunned. That is interesting. The tactician might be pretty interesting. For some things at least. Oh, they've lowered the base duration for endurance frenzy and power charge to 15 seconds. Well, fully broken armor now causes them to take 10% increased physical damage from hits. This is also a thing to know. Take 20% increased physical damage. This is not increased added to your increase. This is how much they take. This is a multiplier. So everything that makes the enemy take increased physical damage or increased damage is a separate multiplier that is added at the end of the calculation, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. But this is a separate multiplier. So this is just 20%. You deal 20% more physical damage when you hit someone if you have fully broken armor. So armor breaking now is 20% increase. 20% more. And if you can get like a little bit more, like maybe you can get this to 40, that's pretty good. But I mean, this is just a free, well, not a free multiplier, but if you have some way of like breaking the armor easy, it's just 20% more damage. Revivable. Okay, so revivable minions, now they spawn with skills on cooldown. This is probably to not break things. Ooh, okay, ancestrally boosted slams now have 30% more damage. And 20% more area of effect. Beforehand, it was 20% more for both. So it's a 10% more damage increase for ancestral. So Hammer of Gods gone even stronger. Oh, yeah, it's probably nerfed a little bit in some other ways. Persistent minions granted by Ascendancy passive skill now. Okay, so when you take your Ascendancy node that gives you a minion, it summons them immediately. Players and monsters now only count as moving while moving, rather than for the whole length of many animations that have some movement during some parts of them. Okay. Setting a stat to a specific value, such as Chaos Inoculation setting your life to 1, or Blood Magic setting your mana to 0, now occurs before conversion is applied to that stat, rather than being ignored by conversion. My brain can't comprehend that now. Oh, okay. So all the conversions and things people might do to do some wonky things with blood magic and chaos inoculations and such can't be done because that happens before all those things that you try and do to the thing. So it just chaos inoculation just gives you 1 life, and then if you try and multiply that life with something, that nothing happens because it has 1. And maybe there was some damage things that was based on life, and it took the life before chaos. I don't even know. Yeah. Ascendancy changes. Surprising strength ascends and notable passive now provides 50% more damage against the heavy stun enemies, previously 40. Earthbreaker ascends in notable passive now provides 25% chance for slam skills you use yourself to cause aftershock previously. Okay, so Titan has been buffed. Nice. Titan is really nice. Ascendancy for just generic slammer. Yeah, I like the Titan. It's cool. It can stack life and strength, which is something I like to do. Warbringer has been buffed, probably. Warcaller's Bellow, Ascendancy passive skill now causes Warcries to explode corpses, dealing 20% of their life as physical damage, instead of providing corpses in your presence explode when you Warcry, dealing 25% of their life as physical damage. This allows you for Warcry area of effect to scale the corpse explosion radius. That seems strong. The Turtle Charm Ascendancy passive skill now has 25% less chance to less block chance, previously 35 buff. The Encase in Jade skill has been reworked. It now consumes all stacks of Jade to grant guard based off of your maximum life for each Jade stack consumed. Okay. I don't remember what guard is at all. Is that a thing? I don't. Yeah. Okay. I haven't played with it if it's a thing. So I can. Yeah. Yeah. The Ancestral Spirit skill granted by Ancestral Call Ascendancy passive skill now has minion skills. Minions from this skill have 1% increased accuracy rating per 3% over your dexterity, and minion from this skill have 1% increased damage per 3 strength of your 3 of your strength. Sorry. The minion granted by this skill have had the following changes. Ancestral Jadecaster pinning skill has had its cooldown lowered to 10 seconds, previously 15. Ancestral Jade Hulk damage now has 300% more stun buildup, previously 200. The Warcaller's Bellow buff from Ancestral Warhorn now grants 10 rage on hit, previously 2, and 20% increased skill speed, previously 10. The Power Shell aura from Ancestral Spirit Turtle now grants nearby allies 80 increased defense, previously 50%. And 40% increased block chance, previously 25. Okay, that looks... It's better. Yeah, nice. Gemling Legionnaire. The enhanced effectiveness ascendancy passive skill now grants 20% less attributes. The integrated efficiency ascendancy skill has swapped position with gem study. No longer provides +3 skill slots. Instead, it now causes skills to gain 20% increased damage per socketed red support gem. Skill gains 6% increased skill speed per socketed green support gem, and skills gain 20% increased critical hit chance per socketed blue support gem. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, green gem, best gem. The implanted gem ascendancy's passive skill. This music is a bit too loud for me, but I can lower it on my ears like this. Where were I? It no longer provides +1 to level of skill all skills. Instead, it now provides a choice between +2 to level of all skills with strength requirement, +2 to level of all skills with dexterity, +2 to okay, so you can choose which color of gems you want to increase by 2. Witch Hunter. The No Mercy Ascendancy passive skill now causes you to deal up to 40% more damage to enemies based on their missing concentration, previously 30. The Obsessive Rituals Ascendancy passive skill now provides 35% less armor and evasion rating, previously 50%. The Sorcery Ward Barrier charge delay has also been reduced by 2 seconds at all gem levels. I don't know what this did. I don't remember what it did. Witch Hunter is a bad ascendancy just overall. That needed it needed to happen more on the Witch Hunter, in my opinion. But who knows? It might be broken this league. That's just too many supports and uniques to know what's good this league, I think. A Thrilling Case Ascendancy passive skill point now provides when you consume frenzy charges, you count as having consumed twice as many previously. A 50% chance of... Oh, okay. So it's a guarantee now on the Deadeye when you consume... wow. Interesting. That works with the new... Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm stupid. Pathfinder. The Running Assault Ascendancy passive skill now grants 50% less move speed penalty from using skills while moving, previously 30. The location of this passive skill has been swapped with Relentless Pursuit. They're swapping them around a little bit. Sure. The Connected Chemistry Ascendancy passive skill. I'm gonna make a video when I look at the passive tree. So I'll probably just repeat what I'm saying now, but like, oh, they switched they switch places on these. I'm reading it anyway. I said I wouldn't read this out loud, but I've done it a little bit at least. Not everything. The Connected Chemistry Ascendancy passive skill has been removed. Enduring elixirs no longer has a prerequisite. Interesting. Added a new multi-choice practical remedies ascendancy passive skill that provides the ability to allocate grounding stick, dousing veil, or thawing campfire, which provide immunity to shock, immune to ignite, immune to ignite, immune to freeze. Okay, you can choose ailment to be immune to. Added a new sustainable practices ascendancy passive skill, which provides 30% of evasion rating also grants elemental damage reduction. Requires practical remedies. That's interesting. I mean, that's pretty strong. Yeah, that's strong for elemental damage reduction. Or am I stupid? For me, that looks strong. But I don't know about, yeah, it all depends. I mean, if all the other Ascendancy nodes are stronger, this doesn't matter. But I mean, that looks good. But you had to take the practical remedies before. But I mean, you get immunity to something. I mean, you take freeze immunity is probably my guess. Or do you? Yeah, maybe. And then you get this. I mean, then you're freeze immune and you get a lot of elemental damage reduction. Acolyte of Chula. This, I don't like this ascendancy at all. Okay, embrace the darkness ascendancy. Okay, you get more maximum darkness per level. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read that. Invoker. Okay, so, and protect me from harm, ascendancy skill, passive. You get 50% less evasion rating. Previously 40. I mean, this is still busted. The Lead Me Through Grace Ascendancy's passive skill now provides 1 spirit for every 8 energy shield on equipped body armor, previously 6, and 1 spirit for every 20 evasion rating equipped body armor, previously 15. Okay, it's probably still, you can probably still use this, but I don't know. The elemental expression skill granted by this and scatter them to the wind ascendancy skill point now deals 40% more damage at all gem levels. That's a buff. But yeah. You can use this skill to apply a lot of things, which is pretty nice. Okay. Blood Mage. The Blood Barb's Ascendancy passive skill no longer provides 10% of damage gained as extra physical damage. It now causes bleeding you inflict on cursed targets to be aggravated. Okay. This is gonna be... Queen is gonna try and use the Blood Mage again to make a bleed build this league. Added a new Between the Cracks Ascendancy passive skill that causes critical hits to ignore monster's armor requires. Okay. Yeah. The aggravated thing is pretty cool. Infernalist. The demon form. 15 second cooldown, previously 20%, 20 seconds. Wow. Maximum demon flame of 10, previously uncapped. You now lose a flat amount of life per second per demon flame, scaling with skill level rather than a percentage of your maximum life. The dodge roll while in demon form has also had its distance reduced. Okay, yeah, that wasn't a surprise. That's I like the Infernalist because of the mitigation you can get. from having the what is it, like the hound? I don't know, the fire, and then also converting a lot of damage to fire, and then fist to chaos. Yeah. Fist to chaos, and then you take the infernal mantle, which can get 48 fist to fire, and then you have 20 fist to chaos, so you mitigate a lot of physical damage. It's better than it has better physical mitigation than the warrior if you do that. Okay, I'm gonna skip the demon form thing. The seeding body sense is gonna have what? The seething body ascendancy passive skill now has while on high infernal flame. While on high infernal flame, you and your allies in your presence gain 50% of damage as extra fire damage. Previously 20%. The grinning immolation ascendancy passive skill now provides 50% more critical damage bonus. I don't care. The Pyromaniac Pact Ascendancy skill now causes 50% of Infernal Flame to be lost per second if none was gained in the past 2 seconds. Previously 10, okay. We don't care. The Bringer of Flame Ascendancy passive skill now causes all damage from you and your allies in your presence to contribute to ignite chance and magnitude instead of providing while not on low weight. The Bringer of Flame Ascendancy passive skill now causes all damage from you and your allies in your presence to contribute to ignite chance and magnitude instead of providing while. Okay, wow. I'm gonna make a ignite build with the Infernalist this leg. The Loyal Hellhound. That's the doggo I talked about. No, the Loyal Hellhound Ascendancy passive skill no longer causes 20% of damage from hits to be taken from Hellhound's life before you. The mask. That's sad, because that was also one of the strong things that I liked about it. That means I can save 2 Ascendancy passives and take something else, and maybe I can take life points maybe. The Mastered Darkness Ascendancy passive skill now grants Demon Flame has no maximum. Okay, so this uncapped thing here, you need to take another thing to specialize in. Maybe it was like that before. I don't know. The small mana ascendancy passive skills now provide 3% increased maximum mana, previously 4. Okay. After allocating the pyromantic ascendancy skill ascendancy passive skill, you will now have at least 1 maximum infernal flame, even with 100% reduced maximum mana. Okay. You could go, yeah, okay, so you could like get to 0 mana and you would have no problem with the infernal flame thing. Okay, when you blink in demon form, it works apparently. Okay, you get more Chronomancer, get more task speed more often. Unleash skill, whatever that is. They've removed something and added something else. They've moved things around on the Chronomancer and buffed it. It's still interesting, but nothing I like to play. Stormweaver, that seemed to be broken last league. So they nerfed the will Force of Will Ascendancy to 25 maximum mana instead of 15 maximum mana. The Scouring Winds Ascendancy passive skill now causes exposure you inflict to lower the affected resistance by an additional 12% instead of 20. Yeah, that's probably good. You could get insane exposure, and with the Strong Weaver you can get 2 exposures, right, or something. You could add 2 shocks. Was it 2 shocks? Could stack 2 shocks, which is insane, because you can go minus with that. Exposure can't go to below 0, right? It's no shock increase your damage, just a multiplier. You get less magnitude of shock instead of less duration with the strike twice ascendancy. This strike twice is probably the one that makes it so you can have 2 shocks. And this is a multiplier because it says less. So this gets multiplied. At the end, I think. I don't remember. At some point. Maximum mana. You get more regen instead of maximum mana percent from the travel nodes. Wow, passive skill tree changes. Holy moly. Okay. I'm not gonna read this. We're gonna look at the passive tree when they release it. Maybe they've done it already. We'll see. But we're gonna look at it and I'll highlight and tell you what I think. Maybe I'll just comb over this. I'm not gonna edit this video at all. Okay. Okay, some of these are nerfed. Spaghettification. Plus 13 to all instead of 7% increase. That's a bit of a difference. They said they killed accuracy, attribute stacking, so I guess something would happen to that. Yeah, skill changes. Oh my god, this is... Oh my god, what the fuck? There's so much left to read, it's fucking insane. Okay, we're continuing. The skills are insane. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this a bit quickly. Many skills have had their base damage and damage growth per level rebalanced. Most of these changes are not specifically mentioned below, as the changes are too widespread. Okay. They've changed more than what they've written here. I love it. Ancestral War, Bone Storm, cast on Shock Cluster Grenade, Combat Frenzy. read the ones I think are interesting. That I don't care about the spells here at all. Flame Blast, Flammability, Flash Grenade, Freezing Shards, blah blah. I don't care. I don't care. I want to go get to the melee ones, or heralds maybe. Here we go. Here's the heralds. Herald skills with attacks. Here we go. Let's read that again. Herald skills with attack hits now properly state their hits cannot be evaded. This is not a functional change, just a descriptive one. Hell of Ash explosion radius is now 1.2 meters instead of 1. Herald of Ice explosion radius is now 1.6 meters, previously 1.8. Wait. Oh shit, this is cool. Hammer of the Gods no longer has a cooldown, but now requires 20 glory to use. Glory is a resource that gets built up by heavy stunning enemies. The amount of glory gained is based on the stunned monster's power. Quality is now plus 0 to 0.4 to impact radius. Previously 1% increased cooldown recovery rate. That is cool. I like that. That makes it more of a stun thing. I love that change. Wow. Didn't say anything about the heralds not chaining of each other. That's pretty interesting. Perfect Strike no longer always ignite, and now has an attack speed of 20% base. Previously blah blah. Quality now provides more ignite chance. Previously increased magnitude of ignite. Perfect Strike also now deals damage in a wider area close to the player. Okay. Yeah, the damage scaling is probably higher on this now because they've removed the magnitude thing. And you don't always ignite, so probably just higher base damage. Poisonous Concoction now has 200% more magnitude of poison inflicted. Now deals base physical damage instead of chaos damage. Interesting. Okay, so you summon less Raging Spirits, but they stay up a bit 1 second longer. Triggered spells will not summon spirits. Rolling Slam now has plus 1 second to total attack time, previously 1.5. And yeah, all of the melee skills have had their mana costs lowered. Seismic Cry no longer has increased Warcry speed. It's too much. Okay, and Sunder is quicker as well. Sunder now has plus 1 second to total attack time, previously 1.4. That's a lot quicker. I mean, that's going to be noticeable. Ah, shit, Stampede. Rip. Stampede aftershock chance lowered by 10%, but you get 5 back from the Titan. Because they buffed that by 5%, right? Yeah, so you lose 5% if you play Titan. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Where was we? Leap Slam. More stun buildup. A lot more stun buildup. Like twice as much. We doubled it. Oh, Ultra Blast. Attack quicker if you're dual wielding. Spark. Lower the amount of sparks with Spark. Lowered. Quality now gives projectile speed, not projectiles. And they have removed projectile speed from when you level it up. Okay. Sunder, yeah, had lower attack speed. Stampede. Okay, so the bell is nerfed. Yeah, the bell is nerfed, but it's still busted. But it depends. You cannot. Okay, it can trigger at most 4 times every second. And you can't have more bells. Yeah, you can just place 1 or 2 if you have the thing that makes it so you can place more. But maybe not. Wait. You need to build up combo to place it, right? Yeah. Yeah. But you can't place multiple ones by having more bells socketed. They all share cooldown or whatever. Volcanic fissure now has a limit of 8 concurrent fissures on the ground. And the aftershock no longer era other fissures. Ah, rip. Yeah, that was a bit broken. Yeah, the aftershock from the fissures could trigger the other fissures. So you could, yeah, you could trigger it. Yeah, and you could have an infinite amount of fissures on the ground. So you could crash your game with it. But you could deal a lot more damage with it. You could deal a lot of damage with it, but yeah, when you lose your frames, you lose your damage. Yeah, there's like I don't know. It's like too many changes here. Ah, is there anything that I missed like that I should have seen? I'm more interested in the new skills, so this is, I mean, I like slams. I like slow and tanky, so Okay, support changes. Ancestral protection now causes support skills to have less area of effect. Okay, they buffed ancestral protection. They've nerfed brutality. Cannibalism is nerfed, but it's still, to mean 2% is still good. They've lowered close combat. That's good. Oh, control destruction and extraction support. It can't be. Okay, so they've fixed those. You could put some support skills. You could put it into skills where they did nothing, and yeah, they shouldn't be able to be done. Yeah, if they do nothing, if they actually do nothing, you shouldn't be able to put them in there, in my opinion. Okay, more damage per combo now. The culmination, a bit higher damage, 1% more. That's pretty good. Per stack, so that's pretty good. Exploit weakness is nerfed a little bit. That's fine. Feeding frenzy can't be used on minions that can't be targetable. Target. Fist of War. Fist of War is higher multiplier now. Cost multiplier. Hourglass is nerfed. That is sad. That's a good one to have on some skills that you only use on bosses. I loved the 40% free multiplier. This was one of these, like, just to fill up your sockets, you could use this. Isn't this like this as before, but just smaller area? Or didn't it work, the aftershock thing? Or is this... Am I remembering things wrong? Yeah, maybe. So multipliers, cost multiplier. They've reduced area of effect on magnified. Oh, that's good. Meat shield makes it so they take less damage instead of increasing their life. That's good. Okay. Mobility support never used. Yeah, you move faster when you use skills that you can use when you move. The movement penalty is less. Multiplier. Overcharge support now only increase the magnitude of shock from hits. Maybe it had shock chance or something before, I don't know. More chance to crit when we consume a power charge. Oh no. Scatter shot, even less damage. Spell Echo can no longer support trigger skills. That's fine. Spiral volley now fires directly forward with the first arrow instead of the final arrow. Okay. Window of opportunity. That's sad. I mean, you should be rewarded. Oh shit! Sorry. This I don't agree with this. It should be rewarded. Like this, it. I mean, it takes it down to too close to like. You, yeah, you just put in something that gives you like 25% more instead, and always have it guaranteed instead of having this where you need to time it. It's just stupid. I don't like that at all. If it was 50%, it's worth the time. And people will probably use it. I don't think anyone will use this. No. Perfect timing. Window of opportunity. Support. Unique item change. And this is interesting if you're a new player. Usually these unique changes only affect the new ones. So you can keep your old ones. And sometimes they're more valuable because like this is from a time when this item was sometimes they nerf items, so this is like a better version, so you can keep a lot of your uniques. I like to keep all my uniques, old versions of uniques, because it's just cool. It's a bit of history. Like I have a lot of things in PV1. I have like quant support gems in standard. I have unnerfed bringer of rain. I have a lot of like insane items, uniques. I have legacy abysses, which is this is like 250% crit multi, I think it is. Yeah, 250% crit multi. Or is it 300? It's something really stupid. It's cool to have those, even if I will never use them, but it's cool. Against the darkness. Oh, they've changed against the darkness to not give percentage maximum life. To flat. That's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, this was one of those things that with the Lich, with this, it has the node that makes it so when you have energy shield, your life total can't be affected. So with this and that node, and the node before that one was 10%. Was it like, yeah, 10% of damage bypasses energy shield, and then when you take the one that makes it so your life cannot be affected if you have energy shield, you have a 10% less damage taken from everything if you have energy shield. And with this helmet, you could Val Orbit and get this up to, yeah, you can get this to 30. So then we would have 40% less damage taken on everything. So that would be stronger than any warrior could be. I mean, you can get 22% less damage taken now at least. As long as you have energy shield. And yeah, they've nerfed also the amount of mana you get from the amount of ES you get from your maximum life. From 25 to 30% down to 10 to 15. But it's still, I mean, it's still really strong for the Lich. But yeah, this was a problem item for the Lich. It isn't now. It's just very strong. I do think though that the Infernalist is one of the tankiest, in the way I like to build a tanky, because you can convert so much to fire, and then you just stack fire as. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna try that, but the new Smith of Kitava. Is it Kitava? Smith of Kitava. I need to look again. I'm so tired right now. Yeah, Smith of Kitava. That seems to be the like tankiest class now. I mean, the 5% life region, it's fucking crazy. And the maximum fire res and all that, it's so tanky. Okay, let's continue with this. Yeah, they've nerfed a lot of like the uniques. Ascendancy has a bigger range. Okay. Ghost Wraith unique body armor now provides 20%, 25% of maximum life converted to energy shield, previously 50%. So that is changed to a more reasonable amount. They could have done that during the league, in my opinion, but okay. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. I didn't play a Hand of Wisdom build because, yeah, that just felt like cheating. The Hand of Wisdom and Action unique gloves now add 1 to 10 lightning damage to attacks per 20 intelligence, previously per 10 intelligence, and now provides 1% increased attack speed per 20 dexterity, previously 3% per 25 dexterity. The per attribute changes will affect existing items, while a divine orb can be used to obtain the remaining value changes. This unique is also now found as a spiral wraps base type instead of furtive wrap. Okay. The Hand of Wisdom and Action unique gloves now adds 1 to 10 lightning damage to attacks per 20 intelligence, previously per 10 intelligence, and now provides 1% increased attack speed per 20 dex, previously 3% per 25 dex. The per attribute changes will affect existing items. And then you can use a Divine Orb to make it worse if you want to. But the percentage will stay the same. So you can still get 3% per 20 dex then? I don't even know. Okay, well, attribute stacking is probably not completely dead, but that's good. It's brought down to be more in line at least. That's nice. I like that. And then we have this freaking belt here. The ingenuity. the ingenuity. Okay, let me do this. 1 second. One second. There. There.
Ingenuity.
Okay, the Ingenuity unique belt no longer has 40 to 80% increased bonuses gained from equipped rings. Instead, it now has 30 to 50 increased bonuses gained from equipped left ring, and 30 to 50 increased bonuses gained from equipped right ring. Existing versions of this item are unaffected by these changes. It is still very strong, but it's harder to make it yeah, but it's harder to make it the strongest version it can be, because you have two things with a 20, so yeah, that's good. I like that. That makes sense, but it should be nerfed even more, in my opinion, or removed from the game. I don't like it. But this is, with the Ritualist, this is the best belt. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work with the Ritualist. And the unique shield has increased 100% increased effect of socketed soul core. Okay. This, the one from the, what is it? The trials, the trial master. That shield now has 100% increased effect of socketed soul cores, down from the 333 to 666%. And also has the additional property of the everlasting sacrifice. So that's nerfed. Oh, when you reach full energy shield, sacrifice all energy shield to gain +5 to all maximum resistances for 4 seconds. That's okay, I guess. I want to highlight these. I'm gonna make shorts on those, I think. Let's see if I have the energy to do that. If the Morios makes why do they fucking, they hate life? They remove this. And they add global of, and keep global defenses. Are you serious? That's so stupid. What the fuck? Why? I'm sad. I love life. They hate life. Everyone will play ES again. Don't they understand? I mean, this is one of the places, one of the few places where you can get like a decent amount of life. And it's like, now you need to play the Smith of Kitava to make any sort of like life build okay, I guess. Or the Gemling Legionnaire, if you want to be a tanky boy. That's how it feels for me. I'm probably wrong, but that's I mean, we want to be able to get the life percent somewhere, and so I mean, it's cool that it's like a thing you chase to make your build tankier, like you're chase with the. It's not easy to get, so you have something to work towards. But I mean, you can still get increased global defenses, and ES is defense, so this is 10% increased energy shield. You get 10% increased energy shield, but you can't get fire. But they remove the the maximum life, which is only 5, and you can't get as much life as you can get ES. I don't. Okay, Pillar of the Cage God, unique quarterstaff. Now provides 1% increased. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it's like they've like cut it in half. They've split the Pillar of the Cage God in half. Kinda. Yeah. Okay, so Queen of the Forest have been nerfed. And you can't affect it with corruption. That's so... I mean... Oh, why? That's like the chase that people want. That's stupid. I don't like this at all. I mean, Queen of the Forest, sure, it was maybe a little bit too strong. Like, I mean, you could go get this down pretty low. But I mean, make it like that and make it so that we can use the Val Orb on it at least. That's just stupid. Goes against the feel of it a bit. They need to write that somewhere on it, but maybe they've done it. But if that doesn't say on the item, I think it's pretty stupid. Okay, Sandstorm Researcher, blah, you give critical weakness to them. Temporalist unique body armor now causes skills to have -2 to -1 second cooldown. Previously 4 to 2. Okay. My kid woke up. There we go. Time lost. They nerfed just roll from the time lost duel. Item changes? Oh yeah, jeweler orbs. You don't need to make it like, what is it, 3, 4, 5? You can go to 5 immediately. Skip all the steps and just add the amount of sockets the jeweler orb would give immediately. Advanced and expert items base types now have distinctive names. Okay, interesting. Runes now have 3 tiers. For example, storm runes are split into lesser storm rune, and greater storm rune. You are able to reforge 3 lesser runes for 1 regular, and reforge 3 regular to greater. That's cool. Double the drop rate of runes. That's good. You can no longer reforge 3 runes to obtain a random rune in return. You can't reduce a value. You can't reduce a value to 0 with a Val Orb on an item. Base damage of all crossbows have been increased. Crossbows now have 2-handed versions of added damage modifiers instead of the 1-hand versions they were using. What the fuck? Okay. Crossbows were like Giga garbage. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's worth playing then. Crossbows might be good. Physical thorns damage on rare item modifiers have been buffed by up to 3.5 times for the highest tier modifier, scaling down for to unchanged for the lowest tier modifier. Wow. Is it Thorns build Inc? I mean 3.5 times higher, that's a lot. That's cool. Maybe we try and make a Thorns build. We'll see how much time I spend in this league. I feel like playing a lot of other games nowadays, so we'll see what I do. Oh, they've nerfed breach rings? Why? What? Okay. That wasn't broken. Like, that wasn't like... That's not like Giga. I don't even know. Lower drop chance for breach rings. We can't find notable skills starting area on Megalomaniac. That's because my guess is because they have passive trees changing depending on what class you pick. So maybe they can hide some like super strong passives in the beginning. Okay. Because I mean the witch area changes depending on if you take witch or is it sorcerer? I don't even know what the ones are. But yeah, it changes. The starting area. It's just some... They changed the rarity soul core to gold quants. Cool, I guess. Probably there's gonna be a gold farming strat this league. That's gonna be broken. Maybe not. I mean, it's 5%, but yeah. Okay. Oh no, they've removed the percent life region per second down to life region rate. RIP. Mm-hmm. Nerfing mana. Added lightning damage modifiers on weapons have had their values slightly lowered. Okay. Monster changes. This is nothing I care. I'm not even gonna look into this. Quest changes. User interface changes, microtransaction changes. Don't care. Oh, is this the added ones? Oh, nice. A lot of pets have been added. Oh, the kiwi. I have a golden kiwi. I can use that. Cool. Yeah, we'll see how long it takes until we can get all our microtransactions in PO1 into PoE2. gonna take a while. There's a lot of them. Bug fixes. Was there anything? There's probably a few things that I don't remember. I haven't played in a long time, so I don't know if there's like anything here that I should be looking up that was broken. Yeah, remove blink, right? Probably some shotgun things, stacking things. Okay, what is this? Cast on block skill granted by Svalin. Unique shield was granting the wrong amount of energy. It now grants 25%, 25 base energy on block. Previously displayed at 250, but actually granting 2.5. What the fuck? That's a. That's just off by a multiplier of 100, or yeah, rip. Oh shit. Oh, thorns can now stun, electrocute, pin, armor break, daze, and knockback. It couldn't before. Cool. Fix the bug that could occur if using Iron Grip and Iron Will in combination with an effect allowing spell damage increases to apply to attacks. That's just PoE. What? Don't they want that? There's so many bugs. Wow. Okay. Oh, have they block? Here we go. Block. I didn't read this. Blocking a hit by raising your shield or parrying now gives you a chance to avoid. Okay. So they didn't get the block change in. Okay, so they had like a block thing. He wanted it to be added. So that is not in the game. Because parry was like more active, and like active blocking is not something you do when you clear. So that he wanted to add something. Jonathan wanted to add something to that, so it's more of an active thing that you can do when you clear. Is my guess, but I don't know what that could be. We talked about it. Yeah. It's interesting, and a lot of skills have been changed numerically. They didn't even put them all in here because it's changed so much, which is pretty cool. It doesn't matter too much because I want to play with the spear skills. That's, yeah. Yeah, I'll end this here. I've gone through almost everything. I've skipped a few things. This is, yeah, I wanted to record me when I go over the patch notes. It didn't bring me too much clarity, but I've seen some things. I don't like the, like, removing the maximum life soul core on the unique body armor. Murior. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yeah. But it can get 3 now instead of 2, so I mean that's cool. You can still get... Oh, it's so broken, because you can get Spirit, Global Defense, and Elemental Resist now. Yeah, but maybe these 7, maybe, yeah, maybe, I mean, maybe there is a life thing there that's stronger. Because, I mean, they have the energy shield. This could say increased global energy shield per socketed rune. That's essentially what it says. This, which is pretty stupid. I don't like this change at all. Well, as I said, it depends if there is some sort of maximum life as well, or yeah, some sort of way of scaling life down here. I think that's fine. Otherwise, I don't understand that change at all. And the nerfs to all the items. I think the Hand of Wisdom and Action unique gloves should be nerfed even more. Yeah. It's still very strong. But yeah, now you actually need to, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's still strong, but it's not gonna be as busted as before. Anyway, if you enjoy these videos, show some support by subscribing, liking, and commenting. And if you've watched all the way to like all these 2 hours, subscribe then, like the video, leave a comment what you think and what you're gonna play in this league. And yeah, stay awesome. See you guys in the next video.